We're going to talk about Sam Darnold a little bit. We got a great guest coming up from Charlotte, North Carolina.
We certainly do. Bobby Rosinski. Can't wait.
Charlotte, afternoon rush on 7:30 in Charlotte. We'll get to Darnold because it's time we break him down a little bit because he may play.
Could he be the Jim Plunkett for the 49ers? I love that comp. The Raider fan in me loved that comp.
Love that, huh?
Well, Plunkett, a local guy. Come on, Stanford's own. We love Jim Plunkett. Put him in the Hall of Fame. Come on, 2 championships. Starting quarterback. We're going to put Eli in, not Plunkett? Come on.
Eli should.
I know. He's going to get in, though. He played for the New York Giants.
Just on name alone.
And he has all the compiling stats.
All the interceptions.
Yeah, that's true.
But Darnold or Trey, I feel like will play this season. I feel like they will play.
Okay, because I put the over-under on Brock Purdy starts at 12.5, and you're taking it under.
So you are with me where you have concerns about his durability.
Yes, I do. Just because of the frame and the size.
I don't have concerns about his play on the field.
No.
I'm not saying that at all. But durability, first of all, the elbow, the torn UCL, could have happened. But it was also released that yesterday, Brock Purdy had broken ribs that he suffered against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And then he played, and look, toughness, we can't question the toughness. We cannot question the toughness because he did play 4 days later against Seattle. But he has a small frame.
There's a reason he fell to Mr. Irrelevant, Bonte.
And those are 2 big injuries in just 8 games.
Yeah.
Just 8 games. And he admitted that he played through serious pain. He had the oblique, he had the rib. Again, he said it and he suffered it probably in the first couple of series against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So I'm not concerned about his play on the field. I'm concerned about his durability. Am I off base for that?
I don't think so. 888-957-9570. Hit us up on the Xfinity mobile text line as well. Call or text, but I just think with that size and frame, there are concerns. I don't think that's a crazy thing to say. We're not crushing his play on the field, which is elite. At times, he was elite. We saw him outduel Tom Brady. We saw that. They smoked him. They were getting Brock Purdy chants, Bonte.
Yeah, I was
when
there.
Tom Brady was on the field. Yeah. It was really funny, too. Who was it? Dre Greenlaw and Fred Warner wanted Tom to sign the ball and stuff. Dre intercepted him. He's like, hey, can you sign this, man? Sam Lubman, I think. Was that Sam Lubman or someone asked a question to Tom Brady as well? I think Sam Lubman.
Yeah, Sam Lubman asked the last question to Tom Brady in the Bay Area.
Defend himself. Of course he's not, but he did.
He's making that Gambino's run.
Oh, we needed that. We need that coffee.
We need that coffee bad. Bad.
It's
Big John's about to crush a big burrito, too.
Oh, he's smoking that thing. What do you get, Big John? What did you get?
He got the bacon mushroom.
Bacon mushroom. I'm not a mushroom guy.
I got a toasted cream cheese bagel.
Oh,
Everything bagel.
That's a John pick for you right there.
I like that.
Everything bagel, at least? Okay. There we go. Fair enough. But Brock Purdy, I think it's fair to question his stature, if you will, in regards to getting hurt. Yeah. Now, was it a freak thing, the UCL? Yes, because that just doesn't happen. It's a very rare injury in the NFL. The cracked ribs, that's something that's going to be happening. He's going to be taking shots. We already listed, Bonte, the teams that he's going to be playing against. Mm-hmm. And the players, you got TJ Watt, week 1. You got Aaron Donald, week 2. You got Micah Parsons in there. You got Myles Garrett.
The New York Giants, week 3,
Dexter Lawrence. You got Thibodeau.
Right.
So you got some dudes that you're playing up against. These aren't just some no-names. These are playoff teams, playoff caliber, with some headhunters. These guys will be taking shots at you. They want you to get hurt. They want to dish out the pain a la a Clubber Lang.
So when we line these phone calls up and we talk about Brock Purdy, he did come off a strong performance yesterday in practice. He did. I wonder if anybody's asked Shanahan if Brock Purdy will play in the preseason games. Will he play in the preseason? Yesterday, so all reps so far for Brock Purdy through 6 practices. Brock Purdy's completed 60% of his passes, 29 and 48 in practice. 88 reps, all with the first team.
29 of 48?
29, 48, 60%. Trey Lance, 80 reps. He's 26 of 40, 65%.
Okay.
Leader in the clubhouse. Sam Darnold, 23 of 40, 58%.
Yikes.
Brendan Allen, 16 to 25, 64%. Going up against the threes. Brock Purdy going to hold up?
Well, you mentioned the preseason thing. We got joint practices here next week, and it's going to be very interesting to see what takes place there because that's when things get ratcheted up. Like, that's like hard hitting. I was listening to the Kelsey Brothers podcast, and they were saying joint practices the most hard-hitting things, even more than so than games.
I think preseason games, I've been saying this for years, the joint practices, you get a lot more work in. Bill Belichick's been doing this a long time, whether he's got joint practices against the Eagles.
Last year against the Raiders.
Yeah, last year against the Raiders. Joint practices, you get a lot of work in. You get 20 plays. Last year, Trey Lance was in Minnesota. Nick Bosa took that joint practice over. He was all over Kirk Cousins.
I remember a few years ago, Hunter Renfrow destroying Jalen Ramsey, and it was a thing. They didn't want to leak the tapes.
They didn't want to leak the tapes, and they did.
They did, yeah. There's something to that. But has Brock Purdy earned the right to not even play in preseason games? I think he needs to.
He needs to. Andres on YouTube. Bonte, let's be honest. If they let Trey start, they ain't looking back. The 49ers, that is. It's a bold proclamation.
If they let Trey start, they're not looking back?
If Trey starts, they're not looking back. That means Trey's going to take off with the job.
That's interesting. I don't think he's going to start week 1, but at some point, if that's what he's saying, if he takes over at some point.
He's saying he's taking over, yeah. Once Trey takes over, he's not going to look back.
See, it's interesting. Let's say, I don't know, hypothetically here, they're 6-3. Brock Purdy's played well. I don't know, something happens to him. High ankle sprain. I'm not wishing it. Something like that. Or he'll come back eventually, right? Mm-hmm. But Trey looks really good. 6-3. And he goes for, I don't know, gets 2 or 3 wins in a row and has a couple of 300-yard passing games.
I think the Niners will stick with Trey. This is the guy they invested a lot in.
Harbaugh did this with the hot hand with Kaepernick and Alex Smith.
Never went back to Alex.
But the difference was they drafted Kaepernick to maybe be that heir apparent taking over for Alex Smith. These are 2 young guys. But again, it's a tricky situation that you're going to have to thread the needle if you're Kyle Shanahan. So it's fascinating.
I'm seeing this from Tyler Miller, her boy.
What's up, Tyler?
Purdy needs to earn the number 1 quarterback spot. So
should
the Niners have an open competition, or should Brock Purdy be the leader in the clubhouse?
I think he should be the leader in the clubhouse with how he played last season.
I agree.
Yes, but I don't think he should not be playing in preseason games. Yeah. Like, I know that's coming up here, next week against the Raiders or whatever. Mm-hmm. We've got the Hall of Fame game tomorrow, kicking things off. Who is it tomorrow? The Browns and Jets.
Browns and Jets in Canton, Ohio.
That's going to be interesting.
Probably not going to see Rodgers. Probably not going to see Watson.
No, he saw Josh Jacobs last year, though, starting.
He did.
And now he's not even in camp. Wonder why, by the way.
Let's go to Connor in Livermore. Connor, what's happening?
Connor.
Man? You're on the roast.
Good morning, boys.
Good morning.
What's up, man?
I just wanted to chime in on with the quarterback talk because I've been having a conversation like this for the last 8 months.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, besides Darnold and I forget the 4th guy we picked up, but who's pretty good out here. Between Purdy and Lance, I can go with either. I personally, but I would say I love Purdy for his his demeanor, his character, and that goes a long way in the locker room, how he just took charge of the offense and how he responded to that versus Trey Lance. He got the money, he's going out having a good time. It's I kind of relate him to Jordan Poole, not they're very similar all the way, but Poole is very talented, but he let his ego and his character and his actions get in front of him, and that took him down off the Warriors.
Actually, the punch heard around the world took him down off the Warriors. But go ahead, Connor.
Yeah, so I was just saying, I mean, if Purdy starts, I'm super happy. I like Purdy. I think he plays smart. He makes interesting or exciting plays happen that haven't happened in a while with Jimmy not being able to throw a deep ball or scramble. And I think Trey could be really good too.
Any concerns with his durability?
We haven't seen it yet.
Any concerns with its durability, Brock Purdy?
I mean, it could happen to anybody, but I don't think. I think about it as he's not the smallest guy in the league. I think about Murray, and I don't know how Tua is not small, but there's guys that are his size that make it through, or Drew Brees. Guys that are small, but they've had long careers. It could happen. Fluke things he could just have another injury and be done.
You just mentioned two guys that are perpetually injured, and thanks for the call, Connor. Kyler Murray's out for the season, and Tua had 5 concussions last year.
Did I hear that right? He said Trey was a little cocky or something.
I don't know what he said. George Poole too, not Jordan. So
he said once he got his money, he just likes to have fun. Whatever that means.
He said that about Jordan Poole.
About Trey Lance.
Well, first of all.
What does that even mean?
No, first of all, he got the money. Trey Lance works his ass off.
Yeah, no one's.
Did we not remember when he came into camp as a rookie, and Shanahan and everybody said the guy who had the most usage on their iPad was Trey Lance? Studying. Do we not remember that?
He's a
They
gym rat.
track who looks at what, and that Trey Lance was the leader of the clubhouse in terms of looking at all the film and all the data and everything like that. Did we not forget that?
Well, did we also forget the guy that he was taking over for, Jimmy Garoppolo, would ghost the team? Do you remember that article, Mike Silver?
Yeah, and wouldn't text anybody back and would just go do his own thing.
Do we not remember that?
But first of all, if he wants to have fun, who gives a damn? Debo pops bottles in the club.
Yeah,
I don't care.
Come on.
These guys are in their mid-20s. They want to go have fun. They're single. There's nothing wrong with going to the club.
Zero off-the-field concerns as it pertains to Trey Lance. To say anything like that is actually negligent. And
also, last year when he had ankle surgery for the second time, the Niners said that he could have a few weeks off, and he stayed at the facility and at games to help out with quarterback rooms.
And listen, when Jimmy Garoppolo was hurt, he'd be in a luxury suite. You didn't see him on the sidelines.
Well, you saw him smiling on the sideline last year in the NFC Championship game.
Finally got his ass on the sideline. Trey Lance was there with the Microsoft Surface, going over to Brock Purdy, helping him up. Brock Purdy said over and over at pressers, Trey Lance has been very instrumental in my efforts, in my play, because he helps me out every time to see what I'm talking about, to see what I'm seeing, to break down the film or whatnot. This whole thing that Trey Lance, and by the way, who gives a damn if he is cocky? Debo's cocky. Bosa's cocky. What? Warner's cocky. You got to have some cocky. You don't think Steph Curry's cocky?
Jimmy Garoppolo was cocky.
Kobe Bryant, your guy. Cocky.
You kidding me? There's a fine line between cockiness and confidence, but if you thread it right, you could be an all-timer, but you have to have the talent to match it. Dion on the chat and the YouTube, and you can follow us on Twitch and YouTube. Search 95.7 The Game, like and subscribe. Ring the bell, people. Dion, this is the most annoying convo. The only reason people aren't sold on Purdy is his draft status. If he was a first rounder, we're not even talking about this BS. Well, he's played 8 games.
Right. That's why we're talking about
That's why we're talking about it.
Not only are we talking about it because he played 8 games, it's because we saw Jimmy Garoppolo come in 2017 and light it up. And I certainly thought, damn, the Niners got their
You thought you were sold.
Then he got hurt week 3, 2018, and was never the same since. Never the same since.
And so I think it's you could say it's or battered here and beaten as a franchise, as a fan base, if you want to say that as it pertains to the quarterback staying healthy. But it is what it is. The NFL stands for not for long.
Right.
The truly elite guys are the guys that can stay healthy. You think it's a coincidence that Tom Brady played till he was 45?
Right.
Given his draft status? He's not athletic at all. He can't get away from anyone, Bonte.
But also, you don't think Tom Brady was cocky?
Oh, are you kidding me?
You don't think he talked trash? The arrogance leaking it's okay.
Do you see all the different tirades he had laying into the people on the sidelines?
No doubt.
People were crushing him because they didn't think that was leadership, and they were juxtaposed. I was like, no, that is leadership because he expects greatness from his teammates.
We just watched the quarterback series on Netflix.
Oh, so good.
And I'm glad 510 Xfinity Mobile text line brought this up. Patrick Mahomes is big cocky.
Oh,
he made that play at Tampa Bay. Rudy said, I'm like that.
You say him and Max Crosby getting into it?
Yeah,
those are two cocky individuals going out.
Him.
Yeah.
And he's the best quarterback in this league. And he may go down as the greatest quarterback of all time. Yeah. That's how good he is.
Talent-wise,
Trey Lance is cocky. That was a terrible call, Connor. I can't believe he's... I thought I was tripping. I was like, maybe it's just the lack of sleep I had.
I don't know where he was going with any of that. That's why I kind of cut him off, because he was starting to be injury prone and small frame guys.
If he's injury prone, Brock Purdy's had 2 major injuries so far. Broken rib, had to play out a game. And look, he deserves all the credit in the world for playing tough and being tough in that game against Seattle.
Oh my God. Well, hell, even in the NFC Championship game, he had to go out there and he couldn't even throw.
Right.
Felt bad for the guy watching him. Like he was gutty last year, and I appreciate what he did on the field, but it's a fair question to just question the frame and the size of this guy. Absolutely. When you compared him, and Connor the Caller compared himself to Kyler Murray, a guy who's out for the season probably, and Tua Tagovailoa, who again got popped multiple times. Right. I don't even think he should be playing the sport of football, to be quite honest with you. So it is scary.
So William Bonnet, Purdy should earn the job this offseason. Last year was last year. There's a lot of steam there. I think Purdy deserves the first team reps, but I would like to see Trey Lance get some first team reps, especially in the preseason.
If he doesn't play in the preseason, I'm not okay with that.
Ooh.
He needs to play in the preseason.